The first time Commander Rylan Hale saw the little alien girl, she was dying. Her small, fragile body lay half-buried under the chilled sands of Epsion. 4. A frontier moon long abandoned by colonists and ignored by trade routes. Rylan had been performing a routine survey for the Galactic Restoration Initiative, a job that usually involved mapping old mining tunnels and cataloging toxic waste left by corporations that had gone bankrupt decades earlier. Nothing in the mission briefing mentioned sentient life. Nothing suggested anyone had survived the collapse of the mining settlement. But his scanner told a different story. Faint life signature. Weak. Almost gone. He followed it through a ravine carved by ancient winds until he found her. A tiny creature, humanoid but unmistakably alien, with translucent skin that shimmered faintly even under the moon's dim twin suns. Her limbs were delicate, like she'd been sculpted from crystal threads. Her eyes, half open, unfocused, glowed a soft blue, fading more by the second. Rylan dropped to one knee. Hey, stay with me, he said, though he doubted she could understand. She blinked slowly. Her breath rattled in her throat. Someone had left her there. Someone had meant for her to die. And Rylan Hale, battle-worn veteran of the Titan Wars, who'd sworn never to get emotionally attached again, felt something inside him crack open. He scooped her gently into his arms. Don't worry. I've got you now. Rylan rushed her back to his shuttle. The little girl shivered violently, and her crystal-like skin dimmed further with every passing moment. He activated the emergency medpod, sealing her inside. The machine scanned her, displaying a stream of data in symbols he didn't recognize. Unknown species, the computer announced. Severe malnutrition. Osmotic imbalance. Oxygen saturation. Critical. Just keep her alive, Rylan muttered. The pod hummed softly, filling with nutrient vapor and stabilizing fields. The girl's breathing eased just barely. When Rylan set course for the orbital station, he pinged Central Command. I've recovered a child. Non-human. She needs medical attention. There was a long pause before the response came through, clipped and cold. Commander Hale, Epsion 4 has been confirmed uninhabited. You are to return the specimen to the surface and continue your assignment. Do not transport unknown biological entities. That is a direct protocol order. Specimen. The word made Rylan's knuckles go white around the controls. She's not an entity, he growled. She's a child. Protocol stands, Command replied. Return her immediately. Rylan ended the transmission. He knew what would happen if he obeyed. He knew what Command truly meant. Dispose of her. She's a liability. Rules like that existed because of past epidemics and interspecies conflicts, but Rylan had fought in enough wars to recognize when something wasn't just policy. It was fear disguised as procedure. He looked toward the medpod. The little girl lay still, eyes closed, but alive. Rylan made his choice. He cut communication, switched to silent running, and diverted course toward the outer system, toward someone who might help. Dr. Elvira Sato lived on Helion Station, a place one only visited if they desperately needed unconventional medical expertise. Sato had been a xenobiologist before she'd turned rogue, accused of performing unauthorized research. Rylan didn't know the full story, only that she'd saved his life once after an ambush on Titan. If anyone could help the alien child, it was her. When Rylan arrived, Sato took one look at the girl and froze. "Oh no," she whispered. "Rylan, where did you find her?" "Epsion 4, he said. "She was buried in the sand. Someone left her to die." Sato's expression tightened with something between fear and awe. "She's a Lyrenian. Never heard of them. You wouldn't have." They went extinct nearly a century ago. Or so everyone believed. Rylan glanced at the child, stunned. Extinct? Why? Sato exhaled shakily. The Lyrenians were peaceful, brilliant. They could manipulate crystalline energy fields, reshape matter on a molecular level. A gift some feared. They were hunted. Entire colonies wiped out. If she's alive. She's the last, Rylan said softly. Sato met his gaze. And someone clearly knew that. Someone wanted her gone. Over the next days, Sato worked non-stop, stabilizing the girl. Rylan stayed by her side whenever he could. Slowly, the child began to regain strength. She woke fully for the first time 3 days after their arrival. Her glowing eyes met Rylan's. She stared at him, small and trembling. Then she reached out a hand. "Sare," she whispered, voice weak and melodic. Sato listened carefully. "That's her name." Rylan smiled gently. "Hello, Sare." The girl touched his hand, and her skin brightened. A soft pulse of light passed from her fingers to his, warm, calm, soothing. "She trusts you," Sato murmured, amazed. "Lyrenians bond quickly. If she's chosen you, she'll stay by your side." Rylan wasn't sure he deserved that. But when Sare clung to him with surprising strength, he knew he wanted to protect her no matter the cost. And the cost was about to become very high. A week later, a fleet arrived. Unmarked ships. Full tactical formation. Command had found him. Rylan's systems lit up with warnings. Sato cursed under her breath. "They're hailing you," she said. "What are you going to do?" Rylan looked at Sare. She sat curled in a chair, watching the monitors with wide, fearful eyes. She knew danger. She remembered being abandoned. Her tiny hands shook. Rylan knelt beside her. "I won't let anyone hurt you. I promise." He rose, squared his shoulders, and opened the incoming transmission. Admiral Corrin appeared on the screen. Stern, silver-haired, and radiating authority. "Commander Hale, you have violated multiple containment protocols. Turn over the alien immediately." "No," Rylan said flatly. Corrin's eyes hardened. "She is a threat to galactic stability. She's a child. A child of a species that nearly destabilized entire sectors. Their technology was too dangerous. They were slaughtered because they were different," Rylan snapped. "And now you want to finish what others started." Corrin's jaw tightened. "This is not a negotiation." The fleet's weapons powered up. Rylan closed the channel. "We have to run," Sato said. "We won't get far," Rylan answered. "Not unless." He looked at Sare. The girl stood now, trembling, but her eyes brightened with a deeper, steadier light. "She understands," Sato whispered. "Rylan, she can help us." Sare stepped forward. Her small hands pressed against the control console. Crystalline energy radiated outward, weaving through the ship systems like living electricity. Outside, the fleet's scanners flickered. Their weapons powered down. Their engines sputtered as if the space around them had turned to syrup. The little alien girl had stopped an entire fleet with a single thought. Rylan didn't waste the moment. Punching jump drive now. The ship rocketed into hyperspace, leaving the stunned fleet behind. Hours later, when the jump ended, the three of them floated in quiet, uncharted space. Sato let out a shaky breath. "We're safe. For now." Rylan turned to Sare. She looked exhausted but alive. Alive because he had chosen compassion over orders. "What happens next?" Sato asked. Rylan looked out at the stars. Billions of them, endless possibilities. "We find a place where she can grow," he said. Where she isn't hunted. And maybe help her find others like her, if any survived. Sare climbed into his arms, resting her head against his chest. Her skin glowed softly, peacefully. Rylan held her close. Abandoned, hunted, left to die. Not anymore. He'd changed her fate. And in doing so, she had changed his.